Welcome to watchandcomplain.com.
Episode
we're gonna talk about
157.
naked ladies.
No.
So one thing I do like is today the bus was canceled. So both my sons take the bus.
Yeah,
And oh shit, your bus was canceled too, right?
no.
How come your bus wasn't canceled?
I bet it's the driver was sick or something on yours.
Well, your kid is on the same fucking bus that mine is.
Remember, we got a new bus on our
Oh,
side.
that's right. Okay, we're still on the other bus.
There's too many kids on our bus, and they had to give they had to separate the route right between our streets. So yours is still on that bus route, and my son is on the new bus route that starts right at his stop.
Well, my bus, the kid's bus was canceled, so I had to drive in the first kid. And then my neighbor, who I've talked about before, she has a daycare, so she had
Could have just taken them to school.
3 kids. Yeah, she has 3 kids that go on the same bus. So I drove all the kids in.
Okay.
And I forgot that my phone, it changes what's going every hour. It changes the background. And it was like a set of boobs that came out. And it was sitting up like I had it like in things, so it was charging.
Nice.
One little boy in the middle was like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Whoops, that's a
Let me change to my other one. Oh, boobs. Let me change to the other one.
But
boobs.
What was really funny was coming home. This one little girl, I won't say their names because they're not my kids, but she's like, "I hate being in grade 2." I'm like, "Why do you hate being in grade 2?" She's like, "Because nobody listens to me, and I have to do chores." I was like, when you're an adult, you got to do chores all the time. You don't get nothing for it. She's like, "I wish I could be in kindergarten, just be a baby and like not do anything."
Jeez.
But then after she goes, "Or I wish I could be a teenager." And then so there's 2 girls and 1 little boy, and then my son was in the front. And she leans over to the other little girl and she whispers to her, "That way I can show my bare belly all the time." And I'm like, "Oh man, this kid is going to be fucking trouble when she gets older." So I thought it was funny.
The next OnlyFans kid. Oh, not kid.
What are you doing? We've got to watch Phil fuck around in this computer for this hour of sour. I'm going to get fucking sour.
I wanted to point out just a quick
Pinpoint.
Point out just
Pinpoint out.
point out
Bouillon.
Bouillon.
Bouillon cubes.
bouillon. Jalapeno.
Jalapeno. Zesty mordant.
You were asking, haven't we been doing this for 2 years, blah, blah, blah?
Yep.
Our 2-year anniversary is January 18th. You're close.
What are we going to do?
We're going to do a podcast. we'll get a Jurassic World tablecloth, put it on the wall.
Well, maybe we'll have one of our favorite commenters show up and be here with us while we record.
Yeah, we're getting to that. So yeah, 2 years coming up, expected on our January 18th show. I don't know. It's going to be in January.
No one has watched this. Even you or I haven't watched this for that long. Neither you or I has watched all the episodes from day one. I guess technically you have because you've edited them all.
To.
I haven't.
And I've watched all the TikToks over and over again.
You know what's funny? I don't even have TikTok on my phone. And then when you message me saying, "Dude, we're getting all this fucking hate mail on TikTok."
You see the same TikToks on Instagram.
Right, but all the comments and shit,
yeah,
I don't see. So Karen jumps over to TikTok and starts going through them and starts laughing. And I'm like, "Are any of them accurate?" And she's like,
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny.
We have stuff to explain, but our TikTok is Watch and Complain. Very simple. That's our name, our podcast name.
Shit! You know what we should do?
I post clips all the time.
One of us is watch, and the other one's complain. I should be complain because I complain the most. And you're watching your weight.
How dare you?
If I piss you off, I could run away, and you've got no energy, so there's no way you're going to be able to chase me.
I'll go up the stairs because you're in a wheelchair. They don't know.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm such a misogynist, because I'm in a wheelchair.
Are you making fun of the disabled?
I'm an ableist.
Oh, okay.
Or disableist, or whatever the fuck it's called.
You're one and the other.
But,
fuck.
Yeah, January 18th, we'll do something exciting.
We went right back to there?
A giveaway. We'll give someone a side picture of you and me. Whoever comments will be like, take a picture and
It'll
sign
be like
it.
a black and white printout. Like really
Our names
small.
will just be stamped on it.
Yeah. We'll get a stamp because we just don't want to be personalized. I don't
Oh
want my
shit! You
real
know what? I learned
signature.
how to make my own stamps on my 3D printer, so I can make my own stamps now. So we'll just make a stamp
With-
of Watch and Complain
With plastic?
with resin or with filament.
Well, what would you use as the rubber?
You don't use rubber, stupid. It's just the filament, and then you put that in ink and then stamp it.
Will it still stamp as well as a rubber stamp?
Your fucking finger's not made of rubber, and you can still do that.
Yeah, but your finger is soft. It'll hold the ink better, and it'll have like enough. Yeah,
Stickiness. I don't know. The point is, I can make stamps, and we'll see if
Okay.
they work.
Let's
And if
see.
it doesn't work, we'll give that to the
Well,
person
do
and
it on
say,
the
here's a free
show.
stamp from Watch and Complain.
You can make a Watch and Complain logo and show me.
Yeah, that's right. I'll make the Watch and Complain logo, and then we'll give that to somebody. To one person who comments. Anyone.
It'll be Will.
Knowing our luck. Hey, Will.
I will.
Hopefully you're still watching.
Watching. Okay, so if you go to your TikTok and you
I
follow,
don't have TikTok.
if you go to your mom's TikTok or your wife's
My
TikTok,
mom's TikTok.
same thing. We talked about that last
My
week.
mom's TikTok.
And you put in
You know,
watching.
you know what? Here's how I get to my mom's TikTok. Because she was cremated.
Yeah.
It's a good fucking joke.
No.
Fuck off.
Follow us. Watching Complain. So we do this. Every time a show goes out, I do a little clip of it, and I put it up. I try to get clickbait-ish type comments. I want people to go, oh, that seems cool. I'm gonna go watch this hour-long stupidity. So we started getting comments because we hate Galadriel. You do.
I don't hate Galadriel. And this is where my issue comes from is I don't hate Galadriel. I do not like, and I think I fucking say that exactly in this stupid video. I do not like the way that she's being portrayed by this actress. And I believe my exact words were she portrays her like a belligerent snot.
Well, the good thing about this part is we won't get copywritten if I just show the stupid clip.
Oh, that's a good point.
So we'll play it here and I'll line it up.
I don't want to listen to it.
I thought you wanted to.
Ah, fuck that
Okay.
shit.
Basically, he says something and I go that.
Women should get back to the kitchen. Or
Yeah,
something
I make a
that. Yeah.
tongue-in-cheek joke. So this is our comedy. A lot of the times we will ride what we're commenting on at the time and make it worse on purpose and make like the opposite.
You know what the worst part of a joke is? When you have to explain the joke.
I know. So it's like a lot of our stuff is tongue in cheek, and we're joking on the other side of things that we actually believe differently on, right? Like we'll say, "Oh, you're misogynistic," but we're not to an extent.
I
But
think
then
this
there's
is
some comments that we actually believe in that others would go, oh, "You can't say that," when we actually think, "Actually, I can say that,"
Yep.
and you're just too scared to say it.
I have raised both my sons and anyone that I've ever known in the opinion of George Carlin, which is George Carlin, Stephen King, Bill Hicks, all these great comedians and all these great, not that King is a great writer, but you know what I mean. Even Mark Twain, if you want to go back to classic writers. Anything that you are told you should not say that, you should not think that, is someone else trying to force you into a box, trying to force you to act a certain way. And as I'm sure everybody knows, my opinions on religion. Religion is that exact thing. Force you into a box. Don't think that. Don't do that. Don't say that. And I will never be on board with
and
that.
do that with lies.
Yeah. And I will never, ever, ever be on board with that. And it's funny because we were talking about it. We were at fucking Harvey's of all places, and Karen was reading these comments.
Oh, I was like, we never went to Harvey's together.
And I guess technically the EY, have you noticed that the E and Y is out on it? If you go by it at night, it says Harv's. So that's going on over to Harv's.
That's how it should be.
But,
It'd be great.
and I said to them, I said, you should never be afraid to speak what's on your mind. The only reason that you should maybe consider what's on your mind and maybe not saying it is if you're going to hurt someone's feelings.
Yeah.
If you are going to say, hey, you know what? You're ugly. That might be something you want to keep to yourself.
Okay.
But if you were like, you know what? Yeah, sorry, dude. I don't find that person attractive. There's nothing fucking wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having an opinion. Everybody has a fucking opinion, and everybody should be allowed to express their fucking opinion.
Can I give you an example?
Nope. I will
But
not.
I want to express my opinion. There's a current viral video that's out there that a student recorded of their teacher talking to the class.
About being white, the white race is the best race?
Yeah,
I've
well,
seen that
not
one.
quite. He says,
Deep down in my heart, I'm ethnocentric, which means I think my race is the superior one.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Wait, no, let me finish. Let me finish.
Hey, look.
So white is better than all.
No, let me finish. Let me
Go
finish.
ahead.
Hey.
I think everybody thinks that. They're just not honest about
Hey,
it.
I'm not racist though. I like all types of kinds.
Did I say I don't like people?
People only think
Wait,
that.
so you said you are what? You are
You
racist?
saying you're like
You're
I think
racist?
everybody's a racist at that level.
No, you said you are racist. Correct?
I did. Yeah, I'm
Say
trying to
it.
be
Yes,
honest.
I am racist.
No, I'm not saying it again. I've said it enough.
So you're
I
racist.
think I slightly told you to stop speaking.
Yes, you said
Put your phone up.
I respected you.
I'm
I
putting your
actually
phone up.
respected you for a while, but like
I'm putting your
now
phone up.
I don't even got no more respect for you.
Put it up.
Yeah, for real. I don't think I got respect for him no more, bro.
You know, you should have more respect. 'Cause I'm
so he said that in class to a bunch of students that were built of, there was a multicultural class. And those students are comfortable enough in that class and have respect for this teacher enough to say, hey, I've lost respect for you. Instead of being like some viral videos out there in these types of situations where they go start screaming, going, oh my God, go to the office, blah, blah.
The guy should be fired.
Yeah,
and his
yeah.
house should be burned down.
No, these two African American kids were just like, I lost respect for you. Like, I don't know if I can continue to respect you.
Wow.
And
And
it's
imagine
just like-
how much worse that would feel. If someone came up and said that to me, that would be far worse than people like, you're a misogynistic pig. Fuck you.
Now, if this teacher is just sitting there with his students and being frank and saying his opinion and not going, you're an N-word, you're blah, 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 but he's just saying, this is what I believe in my heart, is that everyone thinks that their race is
The best race.
the better race than everyone else. Everyone else. It's just like my family, I believe in more than someone else's family.
Yep, that's fair.
I think that's where he was going with it. Should he have said that?
No.
Is it right for him to say it?
It's not right for him to say it, but he's allowed to say whatever he wants.
Should he be fired?
No.
For it.
My opinion, no.
So it to me, it's a gray area because he hasn't said anything telling someone like roundabout
be-
way. He
yeah.
is saying your race is not as
Yeah.
I
in
don't
a roundabout
believe-
way, he's being
Yeah.
demeaning, but he's not outwardly being demeaning.
Yeah, he's just saying how he believes because I believe that he was asked this question. I don't believe he just came out and was like,
Okay.
let's sit down and talk about how my race is better. No, I think they were getting the idea of it.
Okay.
And someone asked and said, do you think that your race is better? Or what do you think about racism? Or maybe like anything like that. And then he's been like frank with his class, has been there for his class. It seems like in the video, and you're trying to take a lot from a little here, but it seems from the video that they're all like enjoying class and they're like invested.
And we all
which is
remember
great.
those fucking teachers that we all got into great conversations with. We all had, the best discussions with.
Yeah.
And, it's funny because I've known people in my life that chose to stop speaking to me and stop being, not affiliated is the wrong word, but stop being around me socially.
That happens all the time in life, sure.
Yeah, because of
To Rob.
yeah, to me exactly. To nobody else, just me. Because of my views on religion, they were very religious people.
And that's okay.
But so they were very religious people, and they were fine with me not being. And this is where your discussion of do you say something or don't you say something comes in.
Okay, yeah.
They were fine with me being an atheist and being someone that didn't believe in God, but they weren't fine with me talking about it.
Voicing your opinion.
Yeah.
Sure.
And one thing I think everybody should be allowed to do, which is why you do it far more than I. I will never answer any comment that gets put online about me. I just won't. I don't care enough.
I want to be invested with our audience, so
you
from
can
time
be.
to time I will respond,
And I'm here to tell you, audience, you will never get a response from me.
except for on the show.
Oh, that's true, except for on the show.
We're going to go through some of the comments,
But
go on.
anybody should be allowed to say whatever the hell they want. If you think I'm a fucking scumbag, you think I'm a misogynist, you think I'm a pig, absolutely you should be allowed to say that.
within
What do you mean?
within reason.
I think people should be allowed to say whatever they want.
No, when it starts being harassment, then it's not okay in any regard.
But I think people
if
are
someone
going to
if you were black
Mhm.
and someone started saying slurs,
racist stuff.
that would not be okay.
Well, I'm
in
wondering
any
what
way.
if someone starts making racist slurs.
It doesn't matter if you care. Like if you're not affected, oh yeah, that racism isn't going to affect me. That's fine.
Mhm.
The fact is that we are kind of like not a platform, but like an example. So we have to show that that's not okay. That people can't do that to anybody. It's not okay.
If
If it happens
someone,
on the street, I'm going to call someone out and be like, "Don't say that N-word. That's not cool."
Yep. No, okay. That's a good point. That's a great point. But I guess my point was, if someone, if I say something on this show and it bothers someone,
Sure.
it's no problem to bring it up.
Yeah.
If I say something on the show, and just like you said, if someone starts calling me a bunch of slurs or starts like say I care very much about I have some gay friends, care very much about them. Oh, you care about them, you're this, you're that.
Or spamming, harassment in any
Yeah.
way that doesn't add up to any, like if it's a comment and it's like, I have this view against your
Yep.
view. Sure.
But I mean, if someone wants to be, I don't know. I guess if someone wants to be really mean and crass and like racist and homophobic and that sort of thing, yeah, you're right. It's not a good thing to do. But because I put so little value in people that do shit like that, it wouldn't bother me. You know?
It wouldn't bother you, but a commenter.
That's a good point. It
that-
might bother
someone that comes
yep,
up. Yeah.
It might bother someone
might
else.
bother them.
And that person might go do it to someone else. So that's a good point.
Oh yeah, it might set an example for those who are like, should I say these
Yep.
comments? No, you shouldn't.
But having said that, for me, a lot of it always comes back to religion because this is, I think, where I've had the majority of my disagreements with people on, like significant disagreements. It is okay, and it's funny. It's the exact same with movies as it is with religion. It's okay to feel strongly about any movie or any character or any book or any comic or any whatever.
Sure.
It's okay to feel very, very strongly in one way or another. That's fine. Everyone is
And we
allowed to have
do.
their opinion,
Yeah.
right? But one thing you can never, and it's same with religion. It's okay to believe in God. It's okay to not believe in God. It's okay to not be sure if God's out there, whatever.
Believe in what you want.
But it is not okay when someone says, you know what, I think Galadriel was a belligerent snot, the way that this lady is portraying her. For you to say, you know what, you're fucking stupid, you're an asshole, you're totally fucking wrong, you're a misogynist pig. It's, in my opinion, it's totally wrong to do that because that's taking the argument completely away from what I'm fucking talking about. That's like saying, you know what, I really liked the movie Boys in the Hood. I thought it was a spectacularly well done, important movie. And people be like, yeah, that's a good opinion. His follow-up movie, Poetic Justice, fucking sucks. It's terrible. It stars Tupac Shakur and Janet Jackson. It is a mess of a fucking movie. And people be like, how can you say that? It was such an important movie for, black culture, blah, blah. It can be important for black culture.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I thought it sucked ass. And when people start going, you're a racist. I'm a fucking racist because I didn't like a movie? Like, no, that's where...
That's like saying you guys didn't rate Wakanda Forever high,
Exactly.
and so
You're
you're
racist.
racist. And it's
Yep.
like,
Yep, exactly.
I
Great
know we're
example.
pulling that out of our ass right now, but I
I
I'm,
think it's a fucking fantastic example.
I'm just saying, yeah. If that were to happen, we'd just be like, come on.
Yeah. I think comment sections can be a lot of fun to go through. Like, hopefully some of them are going to be fun now. But when you start going into the darker recesses of the human mind, that's where it kind of gets kind of shitty.
Oh, and we don't have much of that. It's not harassment. It's just people misunderstanding the joke.
Okay.
Because at the end of this
We should do
TikTok,
a TikTok 5-minute TikTok just of going over some of these and telling people, hey.
I could just take the individual comments that I read here, our responses, and then make those TikToks.
Perfect.
All right. So, yeah, what I was saying was the joke at the end of WAC 152's
Whack.
clip, where we're talking about Rings of Power.
Do you remember what the joke was? I do not remember what it was.
I have no clue.
This is what shows you.
I played
this is what shows
into
people
misogyny.
how much of a misogynist you are. You don't remember your misogyny.
My
you
wife-
just fucking say it willy nilly.
I wouldn't have a wife if I was truly misogynist.
I don't think that's true. A lot of misogynists have wives.
I mean,
but
my wife.
I will say, yeah, true. You wouldn't have your wife. And it's funny because I asked my wife, like, am I a misogynist? And she's like, no, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And
that sums up both of us.
and it's funny. One of the ways that I know I'm not a misogynist is I was talking about it with Leslie this morning. I was like, everyone sits on the couch and relaxes. Usually on the weekends, everyone sits and relaxes, and I'm walking around, puttering around, cleaning and doing laundry and cleaning this and vacuuming this and doing that. And I think if I was a misogynist, I would turn around and I would look at my wife and be like, bitch, this is your job. You're supposed to take care of the house. That's how it's fucking designed to be.
That's one way to do it, but the other way would be just coaching that expectation so that you don't have to say it.
I see. Yeah, okay.
Where you find a woman who will just accept that from the beginning, and then you don't have to say it from there. Oh, they clean. Yeah. They're the ones parenting. I don't do diapers. Tell me you change diapers because I have an issue with those men.
I was going to say, you thinking that I didn't change diapers?
No, I'm just saying, tell me you did.
That's woman's work.
Those men who never changed a diaper in their life,
I
just want to smack them with a diaper.
My favorite is the guys who are like, oh, I guess I'm on babysitting duty today when it's their own kid.
I'll say
like,
that.
Fuck you. I won't. I'll never say that.
I'll say it.
It's my fucking kid.
I'll say it because it kind of feels like it sometimes.
No.
It's just like,
I'm on goblin duty. I'll say that because they're awful goblins sometimes. No, but
I get more of the people saying, "Oh, you're babysitting your kid."
My point was,
do you understand what a kid is? My kid.
Let me lose my train of thought. Oh, is my wife's like, she says she's a very traditional woman. She is. She's got very traditional values. She wanted to stay home with the kids when they were young because she wanted to be, and take care of them, and she likes to be a housewife and whatnot. She works, of course, but it's funny how I said to her, I'm like, you like to say that you're super traditional and stuff, but I'm the one that takes care of the majority of the cleaning. Karen takes care of all the money stuff that goes on in our house. Yeah. Like the roles are
the traditional roles.
Yeah, the traditional roles are very, very fucking all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'm always fascinated by the ideology that if I'm such a misogynist, why is this my life? And why has it been my life for so fucking long?
I think there's a certain type of people that are looking for, like, they're kind of like the Karens of the internet.
Yeah.
And they're just looking for things to play on.
Not to mention, one thing I can absolutely understand why women might think, women and men, should just pose it to only women. I love boobs. Like, sorry.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I love big boobs.
It's in our genetics.
Well, it's certainly in my genetics.
In our brain. If we...
But I will very often bring up that I enjoy big boobs whenever we're talking about stuff.
We know.
And that might be another place. Like, all this fucking pig thinks of is tits. So that might be another reason.
Because if you breastfed as a kid...
I didn't. That was a weird thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I was not breastfed.
Because it's a typical learned behavior where you deem breasts as being amazing.
All the women on my mother's side of the family are enormously large-chested. So that's where I think part of my
every time
infatuation
you see
with
some
titties
nice
came
boobs,
from.
You think of your mom?
That's right. I think of my mom. Like, oh, when am I getting them? Okay. Trying to blow the dust away off her tits.
So since we're doing this, we're going to go through the comments and then I'll post each one.
Okay.
Okay? Even though it's going to be
ready?
A shit ton of work for me.
I'm ready.
Okay. Crazed lunatic. I feel like she's another female character that was written by someone that doesn't understand that being an asshole doesn't make you strong. We're talking about Galadriel.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's a good point. That's a great point.
He's basically
actually.
saying the same point that you were saying. In
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Crazed lunatic. That is a fantastically valid point. I totally agree.
And this TikTok was for you.
Like and subscribe. Find me on Grindr.
All right. So then we get into the misogyny. Nah, guys, this isn't it. Feeling pretty misogynistic towards the end there. So it was my comment.
If you're going to start your comment with "nah, guys," I'm not going to pay
This
attention
was
to
Tyler.
you at all. Who's Tyler? Oh, Tyler.
It was
Okay.
Is that Tyler?
Hey, Tyler. Sorry, dude. If you're not going to form your sentence correctly, I'm not going to read it or care about it.
Be read too.
I'm not going to. I'm going to pull a fucking a Lucille Bluth. I don't understand the question, and I won't respond.
But Tyler got replies.
I don't give a fuck.
No, you do. This is fun.
Okay.
I replied and I said we often
This is always your fucking. This is your error as a human being.
we have to finish this TikTok. We often play on line crossing. It's a comedic thing that is mostly understood when regularly watching our content. In reality, I'm the opposite of misogynistic, which is what someone who is misogynist.
That's exactly
would
what they'd say.
Anyway, Rob calls out the misogyny in this clip after full on agreeing with what I said because it's all tongue in cheek. And then Tyler says, yeah, it didn't feel tongue in cheek. It felt more like this is the reaction we're expecting.
Yeah. He fucking knows.
And then Crazed Lunatic says, crumbs of truth in it, though. Crumbs of truth.
Hey, man, maybe he's onto something.
Maybe. And then Tyler says, if you say so, buddy. And Ash says, yeah, I 100% agree. Big yikes.
I'm sorry that you think both of us are misogynists. That's all I can say. I know I'm not a misogynist,
Even
and
if it's just me.
I never need to convince anybody else that I'm not. The only people that it matters, I guess now, because my mother's dead, but the only people that it matters know that I'm not a misogynist: my wife, my father, and my sisters.
don't care.
Huh?
I don't care. If you think I'm
No. Those are the only three people that if my dad was to come up to me, my dad from the 1940s was to come up to me and go, "You're a bit of a misogynist." One, there's no fucking way my dad knows what a misogynist is.
It's
And
too
two,
big
if he
of a
was
word.
to point that out, then I'm like, oh man, I'm in trouble if my dad's calling me a misogynist.
This all comes down to just trying to understand our comedy, and you get it through watching our show, our 150 episodes.
And
Good
Crazed
luck.
Lunatic, I still think you're a good guy, even if you do possibly think I'm a misogynist.
Thanks for watching. Okay.
Is that what we're doing for everybody?
Sure, why not?
No, we
I
gotta do
can
other ones.
easily clip it out this way. We're
Okay.
still going. Because this is a new comment.
Also, how come no goddamn comments on how skinny dumbass is over here? Because he's lost a lot of weight.
Because a lot of these are people that are coming across our content for the first time, so they wouldn't know.
Oh, so he was super fat before. I mean, he's still kind of fat, but he's not as fat. So you should comment that he's not as fat.
I gotta block you. All right. Slightly sleepy 97. This misogyny.
97? How old is that? Means 97, 2007, 2017? This fucking person's not even 30. And they're fucking sleepy?
okay. That's okay.
I'm 1,000 years
Okay,
old.
calm.
I'm fucking sleepy.
The misogyny coming off the screen is astronomical. Grow up, boys. She's a great character. Just because you feel some type of way doesn't mean you say. ...
I never said she was a bad character. Again, I said this. I don't know how many of you fucking people need to be reminded of how hearing works, but I said I don't like the way this actress is portraying this character as a petulant snot. I didn't say anything about the character Galadriel. I said I don't like the way this actor is portraying her. But whatever. So slightly sleepy.
So much misogyny.
Yeah, well, I'm a misogynist pig. But slightly sleepy 97, you should not be sleepy. If you're born in 97, you should be one of those fucking Gen Zs.
Slightly sleepy.
He should be one of those fucking Gen Zs that's never tired. When you're old and fat like me, then you can be tired. When you have children sucking the fucking life force out of you and wives that nag and bitch and fucking yell at you to do things, then you can be sleepy.
That was misogynist.
It's not. Women
It's
nag,
astronomical.
and I nag my wife.
Slightly sleepy.
I'm sorry that you found me misogynist,
Thank
but
you
you
for
should not be fucking sleepy.
Thank you for commenting.
Yeah, thank you for commenting. Find me on Grindr.
All right, let's go to the next one. Oh my God. Are there any comments on this? Yeah. Don't worry about that one. James Pedestry.
Pedestry.
We were talking about House of the Dragon and Rhaenyra being cut out.
Oh, Rhaenyra was a horrible actor, and worst part, shocking. Younger was way better. No.
Thank you.
Nope.
Hey, he agrees with me.
Nope.
Younger Rhaenyra,
You can't even say her fucking name.
was an awesome actor. She was great.
Allison fucking ruled.
She was good too. Yeah.
Let's put it this way: everybody in the show was great. Like everybody never made me
cast
like,
well.
oh, that's actor, Patty Constantine or whatever. They all fulfilled their roles fantastically. So I will say that.
Keep talking.
Also, my penis is
What?
9 feet long.
Nothing on that one. Okay, yeah, we're done. So it just came down to that misogyny issue. There was also another comment which seems to have been deleted, hopefully by the author. Maybe
exciting.
they saw their ways. They mentioned a person that should come to the comments and use that video, that clip, as an example, because she's one of these TikTokers that is, what is it? Feminist?
Well, there's feminism and feminazism.
Well, that's probably the latter there.
There's nothing wrong with feminism. There's something wrong with feminazism.
This commenter was trying to get this girl or woman, she'd probably be upset if I said girl, to come over and use that as an example so that she could comment on how men in general are like this.
Oh.
So they're trying to provoke. And I was just like, stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually went to the person that they were trying to
Like their
tag.
account type of thing, yeah.
Just to see what they were trying to goad. And it's just a person that likes to goad others and say, oh, this person's misogynistic. We should stop being like this. All men are like this.
Which is fine. Like, you know what? There's always going to be people out there. There's going to be men like that. There's going to be women like that. But all you can do is ignore them.
Hey.
And it's great when you listen to and respect real feminists, like Gertrude Steins and Margaret Atwoods. And then you see these terrible wannabe feminist women. The feminazi culture, to me, is...
Femikarens?
No. A feminazi is like someone that's like, we demand equal rights.
Yeah.
Also, you're a pig because you're a man.
Oh,
you
yeah,
shouldn't
I
have
know.
the same as me.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? I thought you want equal rights.
But they search out everything they can.
Yeah.
Like the
For their
smallest
little
example.
subsector data. Yep.
Yeah. And it's just like you're taking an example from a little thing and trying to make it this big thing.
Yep.
And for nothing.
Yeah, feminazism is, I find it extremely comical, and I'm glad the majority of the internet finds it as comical as I do, because it's just like, and of course there's men that are just as bad, but feminazism does make me giggle, especially when you've heard, I like to think that, I had a teacher in grade 11 English, she really introduced me to respectable feminism, where she was, she grew up, she was an older lady, and she grew up at a time where women didn't wear anything but skirts. And she was like, fuck this shit. She was like, I started wearing jeans. And she was fucking thrown out of school. She was beat up. She was insulted by other women. She was insulted by guys. Guys would lecherously come up to her and try to talk, and she would fucking fight them off. And
this reminds me of the headscarf in...
Oh, yeah, what's going on right now? That's right.
What country is that?
But she, it's not, I don't believe it's Pakistan, is it? I'm not sure. But what was great was she introduced me like, look, I can be whatever I want to be. She goes, but I can't be whatever I want to be and turn around and tell you what you've got to be. She goes, that's hypocrisy. And she really introduced me to shit like that. And so I always, Mrs. Armstrong was her name. And I'm sure she's passed away by now. She's a very old lady, but she really made an imprint on my life, especially when it comes to feminazism and feminism. And so I think she's a great lady.
Yeah, as an example, as your religion example, it should be okay for you to say straight up in conversation or however it comes up, hey, I don't believe in it because.
You should be able to.
But if you went to them every time you saw them and said, "You fucking idiots, stop
Yep.
being religion."
That's exact. That's exact. You know what? I love the example that Jesus Christ,
What he did.
Richard Dawkins
Oh, not
put
the same
into put into the God Delusion book. He's like, if you start yelling that you're an atheist from the fucking heavens and screaming it in people's faces, you're being just as bad as a theist. He said, so don't be like them. He goes, be the example that you want to be. Be the guy that believes in what he believes in. Look, I'm not religious. That's great if you are, but it's not for me. I'm not going to try to sell to you. You don't try to sell to me.
That's the other
great.
thing. It's like, okay, if it naturally comes up and you're saying to your friends at the time, "Oh, I don't believe because of this," and it's a conversation you want to have. It's a cool conversation to have. I think, as an atheist myself, if like I've had Muslims come up to me and go and want to talk about their religion, I've sat with them and let them talk about their religion. Not let is a bad word. We spoke. They told me about their religion. And I listened because I wanted to be educated.
Yeah, you want to learn.
I said straight up at the end, it's not my thing, but thank you for teaching me about your religion because it's something new to learn. At the time, I didn't know anything about it. That's okay.
Well,
But when Christians, for example, or Catholics, and they're told to go out and preach
Jehovah's
whatever.
Witnesses.
It can be Christians.
Yeah,
it could be
okay,
any- it could be-
yeah.
I was in a Christian
Cult?
Cult. Well, they're kind of like that, but they weren't. They're like what you would deem as a normal Christian church, okay? And part of that was go out and tell people about it. Go out and explain that God is with you, and this is why. Blah blah blah. And it's like if you can go out and tell me that out of nowhere. And then you have a problem with Rob coming up to you, not coming up to you, but just naturally
Coming on to you. Like, hey, baby.
naturally it coming up and going, oh yeah, I don't believe, and this is the reason. You aren't friends with them because of that.
Yeah.
That's hypocrisy.
And I'll give you two great examples. At least in my opinion, these are great examples. A friend of mine, years ago, he unfortunately died. And when we went to his funeral, his father asked if we would all join in prayer. Just because I'm an atheist, that would be such an insulting and insensitive thing to not join in a prayer like that. So, of course, I joined into it. Not because I believe in God, but because I understand that these people are hurting very badly, and this is something that brings the family together. So that was an example where I would never, ever, ever say, no, I'm not going to do it because I'm an atheist. Fuck that. I would never even be...
It's just disrespectful.
I would never politely disagree. I would, of course, be part of this. Now, one time, a friend of my mother's, who was funny at the time, we just got on talking about religion, and I said, yeah, I'm an atheist. He's like, oh, you sure you're not agnostic? I'm like, nope, 100% atheist. He's like, oh, that's just because you haven't seen the light yet. And I remember I told him, like, that's a really insulting thing to say. So because the way that comes off is I am lesser than you because I haven't seen this so-called light that you've seen.
I could say the reverse and be like, you haven't seen how stupid you come across.
And that's what I effectively said back to him. I said, in my opinion, what you believe in is such nonsense and such horror that I would never want to believe in this. I find it, frankly, terrifying. I said, so sure, I haven't seen the light, whatever you prefer. But in my opinion, I've seen the light because I will never believe that a make-believe deity is what's going to control my life. And he was very upset, and we very forcefully agreed to disagree and then never spoke again. But I remember it was really funny, though. I remember that being one of the first examples in my life of telling someone, coming off as saying, oh, you just haven't seen the light of Christ. I'm like, that's a really prick thing to say. That's just like me going up, oh, you're religious? Oh, well, guess what? Jesus was a whore master and God fucked his own mother. Like, dude, that's a really dick thing to fucking say to someone just because you don't believe in
the
it.
majority feel that way. are taught to feel that way and be like, just people haven't seen the example.
yeah.
But it's like, you can think that. Saying it is a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
And how you come across.
And I think it's how you come across. I can say that I don't believe in God, and saying I don't believe in God.
Let's be honest. We do go on that line and we say that religion's a joke.
Yep.
And stuff like that. But we have said over and over again that although we do believe that religion is a joke, we don't think that you're a horrible person unless you're a Scientologist. We don't think you're a horrible person because you're religious. Yeah. You can have your religion. That's fine. I can have my
agnosticism.
What is it? Not agnostic. Atheism. I can have. See, I don't even care about the title.
Agnosticism and atheism are not the same thing.
I don't believe in religion. I believe in science.
Well, for me, I've had the same feeling ever since I read the God Delusion. Thought Richard Dawkins was fantastic, and then he unfortunately went crazy. But
great example, Rob.
Yeah, and it's funny. Richard Dawkins was the introduction to atheism for a lot of us, because we're all a cult. But then he kind of went bonkers. But that's a whole other story.
Because of atheism, Rob.
That's right. It drove him nuts. But no, I've always my feeling has always been, look, I don't believe in God. If you ask me, I'm going to say I don't believe in God. If the question is posed to me, I'm going to say I don't believe in God. But I have nothing against people who do. Yeah, and that is how you should live your life.
Rob's neighbor is a Republican. He's not
very staunchly American Republican.
And that's why I say Republican, because we don't have Republicans here. We have
people just
for that.
We have people just as bad.
What's our side called?
Well, the conservatives,
we're the left.
The liberals.
Okay, so we're the
liberals would be...
We're the liberals.
The liberals would be the Democrats, and the conservatives would be the Republicans.
Yeah, I always get it mixed up, even though I know it's like...
Even though the colors are kind of opposite.
But then you also get the leader of our side, which is Trudeau, and Trudeau's an idiot.
Yep, dipshit.
And then you get the leader of Ontario, who is the other side, Ford. He's an idiot. We got no one.
But it is funny that Rob Ford got his ass handed to him in this recent teacher strike. That was
and how he put it across at the end. Like, for people in the know, the teachers went on strike and then they were tried to be forced back to work and told they were going to get fined $4,000 a day or something.
And QP said, "Fine, do it.
Right.
Fuck you." Exactly.
And then a whole bunch of other unions joined in and said, "We got your back." And then Ford goes, "Well, it's going our way, so don't worry about it." Then the teachers have a press conference going, "I know it sounds confusing, but he relinquished and he's going back to the table and taking away a law that he was trying to put into play." It's like, come on.
Such a moron. But
I know I don't explain it well, but if you can go online and find that explanation of what the series of events, it's comical.
It really is. He both him and his brother's dead, and I'm not gonna say anything bad about a dead guy, but well,
at the time he was dumb.
Him and his brother are the fucking dumbest. They're like Tweedledee and Tweedledum of Canadian
in the pockets
government.
Of everyone.
But see, at least Hazel McCallion, who is a real scumbag from Mississauga. She was a mayor in Mississauga for so long. That woman was evil. Anybody that thought Hazel McCallion was a nice,
like
little
a Ron
doting old lady?
DeSantis?
No, more
Ron
Ron
DeSantis?
Ron DeSantis, yes, from Florida. But
he's the worst.
Hazel McCallion was very slimy in that she was a doting old lady. Remember? You've seen Futurama. Remember Mom from Futurama? Yeah. That's who Hazel McCallion was. She was this doddering old lady. "I'm just an old lady, and I'll fight for you, Mississauga." Meanwhile, every construction job that ever happened in Mississauga, she gave to her two dipshit sons, which ran construction companies. The woman was a fucking monster, and all these people were so under. I think she was a mayor for like 18 straight fucking years. But it was funny when I started learning more. I can't remember what I had watched. But it was these people that were like, "Dude, don't buy into this Hazel McCallion bullshit. She's a terrible fucking person." And it wasn't any sort of like dogmatic garbage, or not dogmatic. Sorry, no, like left wing garbage. You know what I mean? It was just someone saying, "Dude, here's this and here's this and here's this," and I was like, "Oh shit, she's not a very nice lady." But the difference is Hazel McCallion was kind of evil. The Ford brother, they're just morons. And even when you see them, remember the whole Arthur thing where he talks to some kid named Arthur? Oh my God. You look up most embarrassing Rob Ford moments. There's got to be something like that on YouTube.
I'm sure.
He's such a bumbling dumb fuck of a guy.
And a lot of them, some of them need context too to make it really.
To make it really drive it home, yeah.
And
but his brother Rob was Doug Ford, I meant. But his brother Rob, man alive, that guy was a 100% fucking whack job.
Let's move on to what are we watching?
Ooh. I watch. Okay, now I want to talk about this because I remember I wanted to talk about it before.
Oh yeah.
Did I talk about Cow? I can't remember.
You said you wanted to talk about it.
Yeah. So I watched this documentary called Cow.
It's just one cow sitting there in the field for the whole time.
Almost.
No.
It's basically a story about a lady who follows around
She's the cow?
a documentarian. She never speaks. She follows around a Holstein cow for basically its entire life, from its first birth of birthing a calf, and it lives on a dairy farm, to the cow being milked, being bred to have another calf, how they separate the calf from the mother, her being milked, and then at the end, when she is finally effectively executed. Right?
How is this interesting?
I wouldn't call it interesting in. I wouldn't call it interesting. I will say that it is worth a watch because, if anything, it shows you if you've never
never seen a
been
cow.
on a dairy farm. If you've never been on a dairy farm, it does teach you a lot about dairy farms. Not in they explain it to you, but seeing what a cow from the cow's perspective, what the cow goes through in dairy farm.
Observation, sure.
But so I was watching it, and a lot of it I'd seen before. My uncle had a dairy farm when I was younger, and the summers when we go down to my uncle's farm, I've milked cows. I've never assisted with, but watched cows give birth. Watched calves have to be pulled out of cows, and I've seen when cows get shot, when they get killed and they get butchered. So was
it a metal rod then?
No, with them it was a gun as well.
Okay.
But no, I think what you're talking, it's not a metal rod. It's kind of like a spike that goes into their head. You shoot them with a spike in the head.
Yeah, it's like a pneumatic metal rod that just goes.
Yep. But it is like a spike. But no, it was a gun. When I was
brain
younger too.
trauma. Yeah.
But so it wasn't like it was enjoyable. But what I wanted to talk about was reading through the comments on IMDb about this movie. As I was watching, I wanted to read through the comments, and a lot of people were like, "This is modern age slavery. These cows are enslaved.
Oh,
the
you're
misery
getting
they're going
lost.
through."
Okay.
Oh my fuck! And it made me angry to read it. One main reason it made me angry, and a lot of people refer to the end of the movie too. The end of the movie, the cow is brought into a specific barn, and the guy goes up to it with a 9mm gun, puts it right to the cow's head, and shoots the cow in the head. Cow's dead. Which what happens.
Probably is hard for some that have invested in this movie for.
I think more for people who have that anthropomorphic cows feel just like we do. Cows are sentient animals. Yap yap yap. Yes.
Wouldn't they? Would your dog would be a sentient?
Of course she is. But in a cow, because I've seen cows get used for food. We all have, right?
Yeah.
We've all, at least you and me, we're both meat eaters. You not so much anymore. But
It's true.
you understand that a cow was bred for food, and they always have been. There's not like there was a time in life where fucking cows roamed the world and were running fucking Rome. You know what I mean? Cows have always been food. And the arguments in these IMDb comments were like, this is evil. This goes to show you we need to fucking boycott dairy farms. Yap, yap, yap. All this fucking nonsense. Some people were pointing out you can tell the cow's in misery while it's being milked. And that was the one that bothered me the most, because having been someone that's been around cows when they are crying because they need to be milked so bad, and you go and you touch their udders.
Okay,
oh my God. And you feel them. You can see the fucking veins pressing out.
It's just like a woman.
They are very clearly in pain. And then when you hook up to a milker, we only had one milker at Uncle Ian's, so we would all of us could actually milk cows.
But does a cow who is not milked for a long time, just like a woman who doesn't milk herself,
that I do
they
not.
run out of milk?
I don't know. But I can say that I heard cows crying when they were in pain.
Yeah.
And that frustrated the shit out of me reading this thing is like, asshole, you've never been around a cow when it needs to be milked. So you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And the second thing that bothered me was the people were saying, this is modern day slavery. How insensitive and how how obvious of your entitlement is it for you to compare a dairy farm to fucking slavery? Like, what a despicable person you are to even think that those two things belong on the same fucking chalkboard. I was like, what slimy fucking people. So, really recommend go watch Cow.
It's like people who are comparing the mask mandate to the Holocaust.
To the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like what a despicable fucking thing. What a
way
to
point across.
to
That's all
piss
they want to do.
all over the reality of slavery.
Yeah.
By comparing it to a fucking dairy farm. And then, these stupid motherfuckers that are putting these comments in are going and getting like a fucking latte. Oh, it was steamed milk. Hashtag besties. Hashtag
sitting
latte.
on their leather couch.
Fucking assholes. So
Leather
Cow
pants
is an
on.
interesting one-time film to watch. I would watch it ever again. But be prepared
Drinking milk.
at the end when a cow has reached the end of its life and it's kind of sore for the cow they might have arthritis, they get old.
It has a life cycle.
Yeah. You put them out of their misery as quickly and as painlessly as you can.
Just like my grandma.
That's right. But my mom, we set her on fire.
She was supposed to be dead at the time. But
That's right. Yeah. Well, I mean,
whatever
mistakes
happens.
were made.
But
Mistakes were made.
You know, when the oxygen tube's there and you light a candle, I'm sorry.
That's right. You don't know. She asked for a last smoke.
I went back to Walking Dead, oddly enough.
Oh wow!
It
started fantastically.
The last few weeks that I've been in hell, dealing with my weight changes and issues after surgery.
Gross.
I've been needing to watch something, and I went and I was like, I've been wanting to try Walking Dead again and get back to where I was, try to figure that out, and then go from there. And it actually got better again.
Really?
Yeah.
After what season?
But you have to invest. You have to like really invest yourself. I also, because Walking Dead is just about over. It's like season 11.
I can't believe it's still going.
I know, that surprised me too. Just about over. I think next week or sometime soon it's ending. I think next week. But because of that, I've left the final few episodes so I can watch them all at the same time because that's a better viewing experience. So I've gone back to Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh, Lord.
To wherever I was there. And that was harder to find because I was watching it on a different way.
Okay.
So I went back and started
that
watching
show
it on
hold up?
Prime. It's good. It's good. The current season's kind of slow, but there was a season before that was really cool because they dealt with a hurricane.
Oh, neat.
And it was in Louisiana, so flooding with that.
Okay.
So it wasn't like a big amount of this stuff, but it was enough for them to have fun and have a different situation. The current one, they're in a nuclear area.
Oh, fuck.
And they have to deal with zombies that have been radiated. And you can't, like, if you kill them and it gets on you, you're fucking radiated.
Why wouldn't they just fall apart? Radiation makes it all fall
They're
apart.
melting slowly.
Okay.
It's a slow process. So that's currently happening. And the only way that they can leave is if they get a plane working.
Okay.
'Cause the only way they got there was getting on the plane. And they found people that were stuck there. Because it was like, it's pretty much like an area that you just, if you pass this area,
51.
there was like a meltdown.
Okay.
So if you pass this area, you're gonna get radiated. This area radiated. So you're kind of like in this small townish type area, and so I'm interested to see where it goes. And then you have characters that come back from the older series.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool. I've been really into it.
I've also been watching the original Amazing Stories from the 80s.
Oh,
Which has been a real trip down memory lane. That's been fun to watch, especially seeing all these actors show up some that are dead and some that are that we haven't seen in. It was like they're starting fucking roles, which was really, really neat. Also, one thing I'm really looking forward to is a friend of mine's a teacher. His class challenged him to do 30 movies in 30 days. So this Thursday,
watch 30 movies in 30 days.
30 movies in 30 days. And he's been doing it. But he's trying to get like the best of the best movies. So he's asked me for some of my opinions.
Oh, it has to be okay.
And 3 movies he's never seen is he's never seen any of the original 3 Romero Dead movies, Night, Dawn, and Day. So he's going to come over on Thursday and
I haven't seen that
Saturday.
either.
God. And we're going to watch Night. We're going to start with Night of the Living Dead, and then of course on to the spectacular Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and then after that, Day of the Dead. So I am looking forward to watching those 3 movies because those are 3 movies that I cannot say how many times I have watched them. I have watched them several times, and I love them. I love those Romero movies.
Make sure, and I'm sure it's on his list, Shawshank Redemption.
I believe he's already seen Shawshank, but I don't believe he's seen Green Mile.
So these have
that'll
to be
fun.
movies that he hasn't seen.
Has not seen, yeah.
Oh, that's a cool list. That's pretty cool. That'll change his.
Also,
Thought
I recommended Tank Girl,
No.
Johnny Mnemonic,
Oh,
and The Room. Oh, we've already watched The Room with him.
tell him to watch the Cube series.
There we are. Let's watch Cube.
You might get a new
Cube.
a new wiki fan
Cuba.
who puts wikis together.
I can't believe we
saying
didn't
it
get any
wrong.
more hate mail. That's bullshit.
Hey, they can put it. They can go to our TikTok, watch and complain.
Did they put hate mail anywhere else?
No,
God damn it,
I
Philip.
don't even get YouTube comments. People are scared to comment. Post your opinion. We love to hear it, whether good or bad. We like the good ones. We love the bad ones.
Yep.
We delete the racist ones.
Do we? Or you do?
You cracker.
But what's fine with this?
I can say cracker. We only because we're white.
But there's nothing wrong with being called a cracker.
I'm joking. I want to introduce something to our show, to our podcast, our series.
Just because you're getting skinnier doesn't mean that we should always do this topless now. I've still got my man boobs.
if I did this thing flops, so
This thing flops. Clunk.
If they called Thor melted ice cream,
That's not a very good joke.
melting ice cream, I'm melted ice cream.
Oh, you know what?
It's late.
Thor walked into
A bar
no.
splash.
Oh no, sorry. A girl wakes up, this gorgeous Valkyrie, and she looks over, and
Is this the start of a porn?
she looks at this gorgeous man, and she says, "Oh," and he wakes up and looks at her, and he's like, "Oh, she's good looking." He goes, "Hello, I'm Thor," and she goes, "You're Thor? I'm so Thor I can hardly pith."
So I'm going to introduce something for the show.
Is it comedy hour?
We're going to do WAC Christmas Countdown.
Why don't you whack this?
We're going to do
Christmas countdown?
5.
How many fucking days till Christmas?
5 Christmas.
Not 5.
We're going to review 5 Christmas movies, whether you
Lord.
like it or not.
Are they going to be good or are they going to be shit?
They're going to be shit.
Oh, great.
Now, some of them are good. Okay, listen. November 21st, this is our taping day. So after November 21st, Spirited with Will Ferrell and that guy from Mario.
Oh no,
That guy.
not Chris Pratt.
Deadpool?
No, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
All right.
Sorry.
From Mario.
Isn't he? Oh,
No, Chris
see, I
Pratt
get
Mario.
them mixed up all the
Fuck's
time.
sakes.
It's weird. On November 28th,
Spirited.
we're gonna do Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
All right. I can watch that.
Yeah.
James Gunn has got my vote.
After December 5th, Christmas Story Christmas.
Oh, that's that fucking follow-up one.
Yeah.
Oh God.
This
That's
is
gonna be dog
this
shit.
This is why I do this, just to get his reaction. He's just be like, "Oh, I hated it." This movie looks like dog shit. I love the Christmas Story. I wanted something good. This looks bad, but it's gonna be fun to tear apart. The second one,
This is the last one.
they're empty. I want to do something fun, and number 2 is going to be the classic Home Alone.
I can about Home Alone.
We'll review that. And number 1, I think you'll. What's the number 1 Christmas movie?
Die Hard.
Yes.
Nice.
that's what we'll do. That's going to lead up because December 19th is when we filmed the one right before Christmas.
Nice.
The ones that air right.
We should film it on Christmas. So I'm going to kick all my fucking family out Christmas morning. Get the fuck out.
I have a podcast to do. Wait, is the tree down here?
We'll have it right behind us.
But Dad, the whole house is free. No, get out of the
Shut
house. We have to do
Go
the
sit in the
podcast.
bathroom. Go sit in the tub.
We'll set up the microphones in front of the tree while your kids are unwrapping.
While they're unwrapping. Shut up, kids. Stop being so fucking loud. All I can hear is paper.
Ruin Christmas.
Let's be honest. I do that every year.
Yeah.
I exist, and I walk into the living room. Oh, great. Dad's still alive.
But that Die Hard Day, we're also going to do Avatar.
Great.
You're going to that, aren't you?
I'm going, but I don't want to.
Are you going to watch it in 3D the way it's meant to be watched?
I think I might. Yeah.
Like-
IMAX 3D.
Yeah, of course. I went and saw Black Panther in non 3D. Just and
In
don't hurt
IMAX,
me.
though? Did you watch an IMAX?
No.
I watched an IMAX.
I would like to, but I want them to get reclining seats. Those reclining seats in the other theaters
true.
are so comfortable. And I have an issue now that I've lost weight. My butt is gone. my tailbone hurts all the time. So I just want to sit in a recliner. It's fine.
Jesus Christ.
Even though the screen is slightly blurry and my wife can't notice that, it's just
Poor Phil.
Yeah, we're past an hour.
Then we should stop. All right, everybody.
Wherever you see
please-
this, comment,
please comment on our YouTube,
subscribe,
our
like,
TikTok,
smash that
our
like button.
Instagram, our Grinder,
Soon-
and
soon.
Phil's Tinder.
Rob
Rob
is working on Twitch.
That's
I
right.
still have to get him
I'll
the username.
get Twitch set up.
I have to get you the username and the password.
No one will talk to us. on
You'll
Twitch.
love our
You know what's
password.
going to happen is, like, we're going to be filming this, but then I'll start a conversation with someone on Twitch, and then I'll
You'll
just
see
be
the
like,
chats
I'll just be
going.
like babbling the whole time. on
Most of
fucking
the chat will
Twitch.
be, who are these guys? What the fuck is this? Why are they talking about religion?
We're ready to sell you. We'll give you $5,000 to like us on Twitch. Like, that's all the.
We
types
might
of
get like
comments we'll
$4, $5.
see. Just to get us to shut up.
Yeah, just get off of Twitch.
All right. Thank you, everybody, and we are sorry that you've been watching Watch and Complain.
Robin complain.
Watch.